And welcome back. It's now 8 minutes away from 7 o'clock, and as promised before the break, we're sitting down to talk about the YWCA's 60th anniversary. Whew, that's a long time. And joining us for this conversation, we have the president, Dr. Cherie Smiling Craig, and we have supporters, Ambassador Shabazz, and we also have Aline Basson. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us here.
Now, Cherie, let's start off just by talking a little bit about the history of the YWCA in Belize and how did it come to be here?
Yes. In 1956, actually, Mrs. Winnie Ward, who was the then Chief Justice's wife and formerly of the Y of Barbados, came to Belize, and she recognized that as a developing nation, we really needed to strengthen leadership among our women and young women in particular. And she started in the downstairs of her house, the YWCA, and that house still remains on Marine Parade today, so it's a landmark for us. And we then, over the years, actually, as you know, this is our Diamond Jubilee, and over the years we have served our country very well. We have had 16 presidents, and we've had 13 general secretaries. Of course, Mrs. Sonia Linares has been our general secretary for the last 25 years.
Wow.
And yes, so she's really the face of the Y for us at this time.
Now, looking at the focus of the YWCA, one of the things that we've seen is an expansion of the services that you offer and also your target population. What was primarily a women-focused group has now expanded to include young people, including young boys, but specifically young girls. Let's talk about that evolution itself.
Right. Well, the Y is a part of a global network, right? It is in over 120 countries. It has over 6 million members, has reached over 25 million people. And it started by helping girls who used to come into London to work. And so there was this mentorship that started way back. And we continue to do that today. We do mentoring. We do have several programs that have been very successful. We had the Expanding Economic Opportunity through Market Development Program, where we reached over 200 women from the rural areas of the Belize, Cayo, Stan Creek, Toledo districts. We help them to develop their marketing, business skills. We help them to promote their products and gave them some capital to expand their business or to come up with new business ideas. That was really successful. One takeaway from that is that we recognize that training is so sought after, but it doesn't take 2 years. We really need to continue with that mentoring of these women. We try to follow their progress. And another program that the EM project was funded by the European Union. And currently, the one we're running is called CASA, Creating a Safe Space Agenda. We thought that was so cute. where we take children from Southside Belize City. It's actually two-pronged. There's a part of the program in Belize City and another being run in Belmopan. So we take children from the south side of Belize City and bring them over to the Y in the evenings with principals from our high schools. We identified those children who really needed help, remedial help, as well as some mentoring. And so we bring them over to the Y every day, Monday through Thursday. We've hired some retired teachers. They do remedial work with these children. We give them a light supper and bus them back home. That has been really successful. It's funded through the CARSI project. And the prong in Belmopan, we seek out women who are English is not their first language, of course. We try to give them some basic English, some skills to help them to be able to get a job. And again, we've reached over 200 women in the Belmopan area and over 200 children in Belize City.
And we know the opening of the Belmopan branch was a big accomplishment for the Y as well.
Yes.
So there's a lot to celebrate at 60 years.
Yes, there is a lot. And we have a whole year of activities planned.
So let's talk to Aline and Ambassador Shabazz about your involvement with the YWCA.
Well, historically, since I've been in Belize, since 2002, we identified the Y as one of our kind of partnering network associations. In the late 70s, I was a program director at the YWCA, so it was very natural for me. I was very excited.
So you went back home.
Well, yeah, it's exciting. Anytime you travel, and I travel a lot, when you find likeness, right? And so the intrigue, and then I had an opportunity to meet Ms. Linares and see the kind of programming that they were doing, so I was inspired to be engaged. And I have to say, from 2002 till now, it is always on our marker of things to do when we're here. But not just because it's there, but because that they work so hard and they do such amazing work with young girls. And we started with the mentoring with the young girls, and we would take them on the road with us and do various day programs. And now, in reference to the 60th anniversary, it gives us a reason to spend the whole year, number one, preparing for the launch, and then being engaged with our delegations to always make sure that whatever we do at the Y is not just a pastime, but helps to enhance the bones, and that's the soul, the people, and as well as the grounds. The grounds, I have to say, every time I'm there, I'm bumping into another room, right? and another service, and another activity. So the thing becomes, how do we get to know the menu of their assets that they have there that really do serve, so that when you go into the grounds, the people that get there already know what's there. How do you get more people to understand the amazing dedication that takes place on that campus grounds? And so some may have seen the confetti wall outside. And that was just initially, how do you take notice of the building? But inside now, we're dedicating the various spaces so they have multiple usage, and or honors the kind of signature programming that takes place there, like the sewing room, and and how she felt when she was a part of revitalizing that space. So this is part of our Defining My Environment campaign or initiative, so that it's enough that someone comes in and does the work, but everyone is a part of it, and it really is not just how I envision the paint going on, but how you live it. Does that make sense? So it's really gleaning how the space is utilized. And I understand they've already had a wedding there by just changing the dynamics, which then inspired their program operations person to design it and feel good about it. So it's been exciting, hard work, a lot of hard work, but when you can look back and know that there's real benefit that is signature to its already existing history, which is good work.
And Aline?
I mean, I just am happy. I have not been here as long as ambassador, but last year was the first year that I came, and I got to take part of the confetti wall, and this is now my third time back, and it's just nice to see all of the improvements and what a coat of paint can do, and I mean, really bring people in and bring communities together. And so to be a part of this, it's exciting, and I actually can't wait to come back and see what they have planned for the rest of the year.
Well, and her role in the United States, it has to do with property development and everything. So it's really taking a look back and see what happens structurally as well as, aesthetically to a living space.
I like that, because I think one of the things, and you both pointed it out, is that there is a continuous expansion of services. Not that the funds are flowing, but you fight very hard to get different grants to be able to meet different needs. And oftentimes we become a bit comfortable in terms of just putting up spaces ad hoc as the funding comes around. now. Why is it important that you're able to have a clear definition as to what the use of the different spaces are?
I always think that when you go into someone's home, there's some homes that make you sit like this, and some homes that make you kind of exhale. And there was a movie some time back called Water for Chocolate or something like that, and the people in the kitchen cooking, whatever their mood was while they were cooking, affected the person's eating. So you would see that. So if a person was sad while she was cooking, you would gradually see everyone that was eating the food in the dining room crying, you know, or if she was happy or in love, all of a sudden people were sitting next to each other. So I think there's something to being able to do that. So we don't come down just to hammer a nail. We really start to take into consideration. I mean, when it came in this time, there was maybe a couple of rooms we were working on, and I think we have like quadrupled that by virtue of, for me, seeing the spaces that now connect the next space and how it's lived. You know, and the hostel, we worked on a hostel. I didn't know for years there was a hostel. So how do you invite a hostel, and how do people know and feel the warmth of the Y, the personnel and administrators of the Y when they come in, you know? So we're dedicating that. We'll do a walkthrough today before we leave. And the confetti wall has a little more on it now. We're gonna put the name of the Y there, and eventually some solar lights and things like that, so that it really speaks to the beauty of the people inside. Yeah.
Now, Shuri, I like what is being said about the heartbeat of the Y. And as Marlene pointed out, you know, even boys go over to the Y. We know there's a basketball program that runs, and the swimming pool is just
which
the swimming program.
Love,
So let's talk about the breadth of the menu of the services that are offered.
Okay, sure. We have a daycare, which we really need to expand. We've had
You're bursting at the seams?
Yes, we are, and every year we have people on waiting lists, children on waiting lists, to try and get into the daycare, which goes into the preschool. Then we have over 200 children right now in our preschool. We have about 60 in our daycare. And
you have them split though, morning and afternoon sessions.
Yes, for the preschool. Then during the daytimes, we do have the Helping Early Leavers program, which has about 20 girls at this time. We've seen a little drop in the numbers there, but it's because we feel that we have to do an analysis, but we do feel that there are other agencies offering similar programs at this time. But we do cater to girls who could not make it through the formal education system and needed some kind of technical training so that they could make their own livelihoods. And so the Helping Early Leavers program gives them some academic work, very light academic work, so they can at least sit the PSE. And then they do a skill, either cosmetology, catering, and we're slowly working in some computer courses for them. And in the evenings, we have English as a second language. We have the basketball program. We have the Fiona Stevenson has funded through her there is a trust that was set up for Fiona Stevens. She was a Peace Corps here, or a VSO that died tragically, and her family continues to fund the swimming pool programs. So for that program, we actually take schools, we identify schools every year, and bring those children over to the Y, teach them to swim, and they have a beautiful swim meet at the end of that. It's really fun to see them. And then the other programs, we would do cake decorating. Bev Coleman does that program for us. That's very popular. And we're offering the same things in Belmopan. So we're really expanding our reach. We have people coming in from the rural areas in Belmopan. We have them from the districts. Actually, people travel from Stan Creek to do the programs. We've had computer programs being taught there also. We had Lady Kane was our oldest graduate from the computer program.
You had the senior surfers, right? Yeah?
Yes. And in Belize City, we have a seniors program. They meet every Wednesday afternoon at the Y. They're so engaged. They do their own activities. They have health talks. They go on key trips. And if you sit and talk with those ladies, you'll have a ball. And of course, we have our Miss Y pageant.
I was about to
Yes, it's actually, yes, it's going to be one of our biggest anniversary program, on the program for this year. We want to make it a bigger event. And we're having that on the 14th of May. So we're looking forward to that. So maybe I can talk about the other.
It's one of the most anticipated events that you have each year.
Yes, and so if anybody's out there who is interested, please get in touch with us.
Yeah.
We are always looking for sprightly ladies, and we never fall short. We always get quite a bit of that. So it's usually fun.
So you have activities taking place for this month, for Women's Month.
Yes.
And then you actually end off with your launch of your 60th anniversary activities.
Well, we actually,
or year.
Yes, we launched the Diamond Jubilee last Sunday at St. John's Cathedral. We had a beautiful service with the Bishop, Philip Wright. And it was under the theme by Love, Serve One Another, and he delivered a sermon that was really inspiring for us. So that was really the launch of our Diamond Jubilee year. And tomorrow, on the 11th of March, we have a motorcade through the city streets promoting our open house, which is planned for Saturday, the 12th of March. It's an open house and sports day, and we got permission to block off a part of the street in front of us, so we have a lot of activities happening. Of course, there's always the food. We have gibnut, we have cowfoot soup, all the Spanish dishes, reno, tamales. We have curry, so please stop by for lunch.
That's on the open day?
Yes,
so that's
this Saturday, the 12th of March. It starts at 9 and we go through until about 4 in the afternoon. And then on the 13th, we're celebrating the 3rd anniversary of our Belmopan building and the launch of the Belmopan program. So we have a church service on Sunday the 13th. They'll be 3 years old. And on the 17th, we have breakfast at the Y at 7 a.m. And of course, if you've had a Y breakfast, you'll be there. Fried jack, Johnny cake, muffins, fried beans, the works. And right after that, we actually have the launch of our Diamond Jubilee. And on 15th of April, the Y from all the way back used to have fiestas. Mrs. Ward started a fiesta where they would just gather at the Y, have a theme party, and just a fundraiser. And we want to do that again in April, on the 15th of April. And then on the 16th, we have a family day planned in Belmopan. And of course, the Miss Y Teenagers pageant is 14th of May. And we end the year on the 26th of November with an anniversary banquet. We want to make a grand affair to close the year. So.
And the Y is open 24 hours, given the amount of activities that you do, right?
Yes, yes, we do have a very dedicated staff. And
is it a very large staff?
It's about, well, with the teachers and the administrative staff is very small. That's why we need all the volunteers that we could get. And we're asking for more volunteers. As we said, the church service was under the theme by Love, Serve One Another. And we're hoping that we can attract more members, volunteer members this year.
What has been the recruitment, what has the recruitment been like?
It was slow, not what we would like, but we've put some emphasis on it. And we have Mrs. Jackie Locke. She has recently joined our board, and she's the member on the board, and so she has a lot of innovative ways to try and attract some volunteers. And at the open house, she'll have a booth set up to talk to people who come in who would want to be members of the Y and encourage membership.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things, obviously, your fundraisers are tied directly to the menu of programs that you support. So, in terms of community support, what has that been like? Has it been difficult to get the community to come out and support the various events that you have?
Not really. As I should have mentioned too, there's a sports program the entire day for the open house basketball. So we do get a lot of community involvement in a lot of our programs. The parents from the daycare and the preschool are always involved. They support, or we have a small snack shop that sells food and bread and bun, and people are, that support is there. If we could make more food, we could sell more food. So sometimes it's just our capacity to do this. We also have a little market outlet where women from our EOM program would bring their products into Belize City, and we would sell it from that market outlet. And people come in and buy. We would want more people to come in and buy, but we do have a catalog that's available at the Y of all the products that these women make. And so we would encourage more participation from the community, but we do get that. Yes, it could be stronger, but there's so many things happening now, it's difficult to attract.
It's almost that you all need your own marketing department for the services that they offer.
Yes, we've identified that as an area that we really would want to improve going forward in the short term. That's one of our areas of focus.
Now, we talk about the support that you receive from international persons like Ambassador Shabazz and Aline, and to diversify what is there, but I like the fact that you were throwing back to also just bringing back some old good ideas. When you have internationals coming in to support the work of the Y, how do you integrate their input with the community to make sure that it's not a one-off kind of a day activity and then it's done? It's something that remains a part of what the Y offers.
Well, for instance, with the hall renovation that the painting of the hall, it's beautifully painted. Ambassador Shabazz was we really appreciated that. We really needed the uplift for the 60th anniversary of the Y, and we
Is
really
it the main hall downstairs?
The main hall, yes, it's beautifully done, and we helped to do that. And we had a few people from the community who came in, like Mr. Delphin Garnett from Del Knox. He helped us with painting. We had like Mr. Tovar helped us with coming up with a logo for 60th anniversary, that nice logo that you see. So we do get people to come in and help. And when we rent the hall for an event, we try to, and even with the girls that use the hall quite a bit, we try to ensure that they understand that this is our space, that we must take care of it. This is our environment, and you must feel safe, but it must be a healthy and clean environment. So with the help of Ambassador Shabazz also, we're doing some planting in the yard, and just try to encourage that you take care of what we have there. We do the same with the guys on the basketball court. We do the same with the children who come in to swim. You know, you have to make sure that you take care of the environment within which you are living.
Helping them to have a sense of ownership.
That is correct.
That's why we're calling, my foundation calls it defining my environment. It's not my environment, it's an environment of all those who are participating. And anything that has happened at the Y that we've designed or set up, it's all the work has been done by people in the community or members of the Y.
And the hostel, because a lot of people are not aware
We do, yes. And that was recently, we're working on the rooms there to make them, we needed to upgrade a little. But the rooms are available for rent at very, very affordable prices. We do get a lot of like school and church groups, women who come in from the rural areas and want a safe place to stay overnight. Those are the people who use our rooms.
And the location is perfect.
Exactly.
You have good traffic going into the hostel?
We think that now that we've done some renovations, that should improve. And again, that's where we need marketing. Yes, but yes.
I want to take it back to one of the issues that you started to mention very early in the segment, and that was looking at the issue of mentorship, which I know comes with your volunteers. And speaking about it in a larger sense, obviously the work that you're doing here is partially mentorship as well. Even your interactions day to day, whether professionally employed or as a volunteer there. What has it been like getting women on board, or even the visitors that you have, to be able to interact with the people who utilize the services at the Y in that mentorship type of relationship?
Well, as Ambassador Shabazz mentioned, she does a lot of work with the girls. So, Ambassador, would you like to talk?
Well, I think there are a few things. The more I'm learning about the menu that already exists, I even think that the visitors that come to the hostel, when I learned that they have the best baked bread, I thought then that should be part of your continental package, continental breakfast package. So the more I'm learning, we get to utilize what already exists, so they don't have to create another something. And just streamline and identify so that there's an a la carte usage, there's an engagement usage, and then you get to figure out who is going to be at the hostel and how would they volunteer, so that the Y is a part of their week in Belize, and what project is needed at the time that certain groups come in. So it's trying to find a strategic way to merge all of the things that already take place with those that have to be introduced. Usually when someone comes, they're just going to stay at the Y, at the hostel. When they go up those steps, they should learn what the menu, that's what goes on the tables, the things that take place. They do hair, they do nails, they have things that hotels offer. They have in services. So the apprentices that are studying those things could actually be deployed to service at an a la carte cost or an experience. And for me, I don't feel like a visitor to Belize, so when I'm doing it, I do it as if I am part of the culture, part of the community here. It's just identifying what I can bridge from those abroad. When we have delegations, our delegations have never been a vacation delegation, and we don't think, we integrate automatically in what's going on, and that's been the joy for me. My father's 50th memorial was last year, so I created for my sisters, instead of doing one of those selfie events, because it doesn't really feel like that for daughters of a loss, even if he's often tributed, is where in the world do you want to serve? And so, of course, I picked Belize, and I was here 2 weeks ago. It started at the Y, because it's the way we live, and it doesn't take away from jumping in the pool. Now we can spa at the Y.
So. All those spa services will also be available at our open house. So we give the girls that opportunity to get more clientele and to get some experience. So we do have hair and nails being done during the open house also at very affordable prices.
And that's what, and to repeat, it's this Saturday?
The open day.
And from what time to what time?
We start at 9 and we'll go through until late afternoon around 4.
And it's an open day / sports day.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Will the teenagers be involved in this?
Actually, they do a turkey dinner, delicious turkey dinner every year. They sell tickets and they cook the food, so you could know it's really good food. And they're out there having fun. They participate in all the other activities of the day. And we'll also have some other booths like the Kidney Association and Diabetes Association. Some of these people will be out there also. I think some of the telephone companies will be there selling credit. So it's really just to have fun in a nice environment.
Fantastic.
And to eat, of course.
The food,
yes.
Well, we want to thank you for joining us today, and definitely encourage people to take advantage of the open day and the good food that you serve on a regular basis,
Yes.
and the services from the daycare right up to the specialized programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Sure.
We're going to go ahead and take a break now, and when we come back, we'll be talking about International Social Work Day with representatives of the University of Belize. So stay tuned.